Good morning and finally welcome back to the next episode from the MVP Taxi. Today, Raphael is my passenger. Welcome, Raphael. First interview after Corona, or let's say still during Corona, but after the first lockdown. And let's say hopefully it will be the last lockdown we have. How the things are going by you?
Yeah, thank you very much for the invitation.
Yeah.
That's a good appointment and a good idea to drive to Zurich after the lockdown. It's for me also the first travel after the lockdown.
Okay.
We have also a lockdown in Germany. So my name is Raphael. I come from Germany. I'm working for a Microsoft partner. The BDO. It's also locations in Zurich and all around the world. And I'm making IT consulting on the other side, IT consulting with a part to compliance and law and all of this. And I'm also MVP for Office Apps and Services.
So a few times already, actually.
And 8 times. And Microsoft Regional Director. Yeah, that's right.
First we have now in the MVP Taxi. So
that's right.
But I still can call you Raphael, right?
Yeah, all fine. I'm Raphael for everyone, so that's okay. That's the same when you get emails. Hey Raphael, I have an issue. When you get an email, two sides, then I send an email back that make a short video, please.
Yeah.
That's easier.
It's easier, right. Hate to read.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I think that's one of the changes in the Corona pandemic.
Yeah.
You make more video calls, more make short videos for introduction, for explain some features or like this, or make interviews like this, but via Teams or via Zoom or via Google Hangout or whatever.
Yeah, but Teams also, you cannot recognize team features anymore before Corona pandemic and how we have for features now. So from this point, it's cool. Yeah, and how about traveling? You said that's the first travel since this. I mean, you got bored at home? How's about your girlfriend? I think she's happy that you went away now.
After 4 months now, I think a little bit happy, but not often. But we have also a discussion, fly via Corona sites with airplanes and a mask and shield and all of this. But I think to Switzerland, that's okay. To USA in this moment, I don't know.
Yeah, not really.
Is it the best idea? But to Zurich or to France, to Paris, that's okay. And from Germany, we are allowed to travel, and it's not allowed to travel to Corona hotspot states. But when we have to travel in business context, for example, then we have to make a Corona test.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's also fine. So we can travel, but you see, for example, to have a look a flight from Düsseldorf or Frankfurt or Cologne to Zurich, and that's only a few in a week. And if you have if you think back to pre-Corona side, we have 10 flights a day, and now we have 10 flights a week.
Yeah, that's really nothing. I just got yesterday confirmation from Delta Airlines because I booked tickets to the Ignite to New Orleans, I guess. And now I got the refund already today. Thank you to Delta. That was really, really cool, because I always travel like before Ignite. I take my wife, we go to New York, so she spends all my money for shopping, and then I go with empty pockets to the Ignite. No, just kidding. But you're right. I mean, it will be a virtual event again this year. I mean, the MVP Summit was virtual, and now the Ignite will be virtual.
Inspire was virtual
as well, So I'm really wondering how it's going to be. It's going to be shorter?
Yeah, it's only 24 hours, 28 hours, like around. I don't know. We will see how it works. I had a slot on Inspire with a customer use case, and we pre-recorded everything. So it's not live, so everything's pre-recorded. So it's like a little bit watching a movie or switching in Netflix from track to track, from Netflix series to Netflix series.
Kind of.
Kind of, without the short introduction videos on Netflix, so that you knows everything what happened in the series.
But still, I mean, I don't like that much that it's gonna be virtual, but during the current circumstances, it's the only logical way. But I I think you agree. We can advise to join the Ignite this year because it will be something. It will be something interesting, I would say. So let's be a part of it.
I think you have two sides. One side, yes, in person and meet you here in Zurich, for example. That's better. You can talk. You can talk beside with other topics, or you can talk about deep dive technical issues, or like this. These side meetings. That's what I really miss, and also the meetings have
to meet the people.
Yeah, meet the people. Have a steak and a dinner with some guys and talking with a product group, or have some internal meetings with a little bit under NDA. So you have better meetings. That's a miss on Build, on Inspire now, and it's also on Ignite. They try it with some breakout sessions, but it's online. No one knows who is it recorded. No one knows, is it for the whole company, this session, or is it only for you, and all of this. So, but on the other side, it's some positive effects. For example, in our community, the Office 365 community in Germany, we created the Microsoft 365 Virtual Cafe. So make every Wednesday or every 2 weeks, we make a very short meetup, 90 minutes around, and it's totally crazy. We had yesterday one with how to use SharePoint in a compliant way with GDPR and security and all of this, and SharePoint as an archive in connection with all of the requirements you have, and it was very interesting. I was in Zurich. We have some people from Gran Canaria, on holiday, from Lisbon. We have some from Cologne, some from other.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's a cool point on the other side, that you have the chance to meet people around the world in the same meeting, or around Europe in the
you
same
don't
time
have the
zone.
travel.
You don't have the travel.
Stress of travel. And the most important thing you didn't mention is everyone is welcome to join there. This is really important also to know. I'm gonna take the link of this event to the YouTube under the comments. So if you're interested to join there, have a look. I mean, I guess you will be happy to get new people.
That's cool. Everyone can join, and
people are nice. So that's also cool. Nowadays.
That's also a positive effect. So often you are in person, okay, there are some social rules and all of this, and if you have a clear look on what happened in the internet with trolling and hate and all of this, and then you have these community meetings online. Nothing.
But knock on the wood that it stays like this.
I hope it stays like this. And also they have one other positive effect is I had a speaker slot on Hawaii this year. But I don't have to travel. It was an online meeting.
Yeah, but this would you like to travel?
You're right.
I mean, the same here. I made in the spring this Cloud 8 event. She was also participating there. It will be in November, I think. They're going to make the second month. I hope you will be there too again. But it's still in preparation.
Great one.
And we'll see how it goes. I mean, I was happy with it. It went good. I learned a lot about organizing events. So hope the next one will be even better.
It's different for you to organize a conference on-premise in-person event and then on online event.
It's easier online. Honestly, it's easier because you don't have to think about location, ticketing, because I make it as a free event. And the same also with you. The event is for free, right?
Yeah, it's for free, and but sometimes and you have a look on some conference sites, you have limits. And Microsoft is rising up the limits. For example, in Teams meetings from 100 to 250, and now they are on roadmap 5,000 in a normal Teams meeting.
That's what they said in the beginning.
And 20,000 with a communication premium license in live events and all of this. So it rise up more and more. That's a great opportunity to do it online, and for me, and that is also an interesting discussion. We have conferences or we have also meetings. They said, okay, we make Teams live events, so it's more like you're looking TV. And on the other side, and what we do is said, okay, we make an open slot with the classic Microsoft Teams meeting, so we don't have currently enough space, but in the future with 5,000 or around this, we have enough space.
It shouldn't be a problem anymore.
So the limit of 250 is sometimes a problem, but the attendees with the people can discuss, and with the together mode and all of this, it feels nearly an in-person event. And so we had a huge discussion, and that's also a discussion. I hope the visitors here and the people think about it, if you record a session or not.
Yeah.
And that is a very huge discussion, and every time we discussed about it, and every time we have people after a meeting or after a community meeting, do you have the recording?
Yeah.
And we often decide, and we talk with the speaker, and every time we talk with the speaker and decide, okay, we don't record these community meetings. So in-person community meetings we don't record before. So we don't record the online meeting because we tested it. We tested it 3 times. We make recorded sessions and we make non-recorded sessions.
Yeah.
And it was very, very interesting that the crowd of the people in the meeting, when we recorded the meeting, don't ask questions.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
They don't ask. And if we said, okay, now the recording is closed, everyone, I have a question, and I want to say something, So the people have questions, but when it's recorded, they often don't want that, for example, he or she has these questions. You know what I mean? Often that's people, they are working in the company and they have these questions and they can't ask this question really in public because it's their job or
You know what I do now when I'm recording? I'm using tools for questioning. I mean, maybe no Mentimeter, just as an example.
That's a good idea,
You know, so they can write and it's anonymous and you can answer on them. That's what I did, and I like to do that. I will have now, maybe in September, there will be the Experts Live Switzerland, and they are planning to do it again as a physical event.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will be happen.
Hopefully, yeah.
Because, like you said, missing people.
Yeah, we're thinking about in January. Was the first try of a little bit in-person event because of our location. It's insurance from Cologne said, let's try. They will be care of all regulations and will give masks to everyone and all of this. And it's insurance for health, so I hope they know. I know they know what they did, or what they will do. So we try. Okay, let's rise it up, for example, to 60 people, and the rest of the sessions are Teams meetings too. So like a hybrid conference.
Yeah, I understand. This is.
I hope.
This is also something maybe Microsoft is also considering that they do in future maybe events. Let's say let's be optimistic. Let's say next year or in 2 years the Ignite will be again, but they still want to make it as an online event because not everyone can travel. I mean, if you live in Germany or if you live in Switzerland or in UK or in these countries, it's easier to buy the tickets to the US to get the visa that you are allowed to travel there, or even to have the money for the tickets. But if you are living in a poor country where the salaries are lower or which are maybe banned on the list from the US that you can't travel, I mean, they're not all bad people, you know. So and they also want to participate, and if they can participate online, that would be nice. So we'll see what goes there.
Yeah, that's one interesting point. I had a discussion with some guys out of our IT topics area, and they said, okay, for us, I have huge discussion with my boss. They told me, because he said it's online. That's okay. You have a second screen where you can watch the conference, and on the other screen you can work. You know what I mean? And when they travel to Orlando, for example, they are there out of business, and they can concentrate on the sessions. They can ask, they can have dinner with some product groups, or for example also with third-party vendors like VM or 8Point or whatever to talk about. And they said, no, I have to go away out of my office and out of my time zone.
Exactly.
So the other one said, my boss said, okay, it's a US time zone, so 6 hours of the day you can work, and then the time zone US begins. Now you have then you have 6 hours conference or 8 hours. Then you can sleep and work more. So it's not enough for you. So
I'm extremely lucky that my company is total cool with that.
Mine too. That's okay. But you have to see there are other companies.
Yes, of course.
There are some other companies with other cultures.
Yes.
So for example, also for example insurance companies, also some banks here, some finance institutes also. They are the modern workplace is not the modern workplace. The modern workplace for them, they have a laptop instead of a desktop PC. Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's not the culture of working everywhere, working in different time zone. For example, working one day in the morning, the other day working in the evening because you have to go with your children to the doctor or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
But I think this is an advantage of the COVID times. So I think after the COVID times we have more companies, they change their culture.
But it's also dangerous because I noticed by myself, mostly in the home office you're working even more. Lunchtime, for example, when you're in the office you go for lunch. You go
1 hour outside of the office.
But here you're kind of, okay, let me eat during I am writing something or looking at something and you don't have, this is a bit dangerous.
This is totally dangerous. Sometimes when I notice, and everyone knows as a consultant, you have to documentate what you work, which hour, which time, which topic for your customer, and sometimes I look on my paper and I have 15 hours or 14 hours for a day. That's too much. That's my boss said also, Raphael, slow down. But this is a awesome topic because before COVID, a lot of manager and a lot of people in the HR position think when we let the people in the home office, they don't work. Or they go outside.
That's all thinking,
for shopping or hiking or whatever.
Even if I mean, many years ago I was working for a company and we were writing a lot of code, like scripts and all this. And then you write, and then after 2 hours you're tired. So what I did, I took my bike and went for a 1 hour ride, a half an hour shower, but then I continued. But then I don't have to finish at 5 to go home because I have to drive, let's say, half an hour, 45 minutes to get home. I can work till 6 or 7. I mean, I just leave my home office and I'm home, so I don't have the travel way. And the same in the morning and all this. So in the end of the day, like you said, with the reporting, it actually doesn't matter if I work 9 to 5 or if I work 6 to 9 and then 11 till 1.
It's often a discussion of effectively work.
Exactly.
If it's effectively to
work
sit
smart,
work smart. If you effectively sit 10 hours in the office and you work effectively 1 hour, or you are at home, or for example, what I like is when I have meetings in the morning. Go outside, go around the lake, or do something for you.
In Zurich, you can do that.
For example, and you have internet connection, bandwidth. That's okay. So you can make your meetings. No one is around when you are in the forest or when you're walking down the street. No one hears you really. So that's compliant, and you can make your meeting and come back, and you make a little bit sports and. That's okay for a normal one, and so you can mix a little bit, and that's what I see in this area. And on the other side, you have the discussion if your employee would work, and the other one is security and compliance.
Exactly.
So I have a lot of discussion in the last 6 months. I have discussion, for example, from the data privacy officer, and I have some data privacy officer that I want to go to the employee at home and have a look how the data is secure and how they work there. And for example, in Germany, it's not allowed. It's only allowed that, for example, the employee makes some pictures and said, okay, this is my office.
But it's also about using tools. I mean, if you just look at Microsoft, if you use the Microsoft products, if you deploy your devices, for example, with Intune, if you use BitLocker, I mean, you have so many. You can use Citrix as an example. Then
Windows Virtual Desktop.
As well. I mean, so there are so many ways. You just have to use. But the other point I want to come back, you said about the banks and working hours and working from home. I guess we in the IT, we're anyway different. We are not normal people. I mean,
that's right.
Can be positive or negative. But if you have an IT guy and he knows what he has to do, especially when you think back to old IT, we mostly worked on the weekends and at night because then you have to make patching. And if you have a company which has different kind of workers, if you have office workers, if you have IT, if you have production, there are different mentalities during the profession, you know. So that's why in an HR, I understand that they cannot always get, but there's also always a question of trust, and without trust, I mean, it's a controlled trust because you have to report. So
and I asked the customer, and also in our company we have also the same discussion, and I also asked the customer, do you trust your employees when you pay them? Normally, yes. And if it's a difference in trust, if they work at the office or if they work at home, for example, as a normal classic worker, I don't speak about NDA worker or police or NSA guys or whatever. So the normal worker, what I see, they go to work, make something, write some emails, some projects or whatever. So they did it in the office and they did it at home. And some people said, okay, at home your wife sees something. But normally and say it clear. Normally you talk with your wife. You don't tell her everything, but you talk with about your life, and your wife is a part of your life.
Of course.
So the company hired you. Yes, you have an NDA, but a little bit you're talking not really clear about everything. But you know what I mean. You are talking with your wife because it's a part of your life.
Exactly.
So.
And the other point is, for example, let's take a look about us as an MVP. We have the NDA with Microsoft. We have these PGI calls, kind of many of them, and they're cool. When my wife hears me, I'm talking through Teams with the office of a Microsoft or with someone, I mean, sorry, she's absolutely not interested in that because she's a total different mindset, I mean, that's nothing bad, but this is how it is. And
she knows that when she hears something that she don't talk about
it. Of course.
That's okay.
But she
totally
don't understand it as well, this is also a point, so okay, sometimes you have also couples, let's say like this, which both are home at IT, so but even then, I mean, then simply close the door.
Yeah,
if they have
that's what I do
call,
too. If I have a very critical call, I close the door. But that is what a lot of people have to learn also. Don't talk in trains. Don't make phone calls at the airport, for example. That's the same situation.
It's even worse than at home.
Yeah. That's
at home it's at least family stuff, but then I had this couple of times when I was in the train, and then you just sit, and when you're not listening music, just because you want some silence, and then you hear how people are talking.
Talking about the clients,
like everything.
Talking about the money, and talking about everything. So for me,
social engineering.
For me, it is if I have really an NDA call, or if I have really some topics, and I'm working in the compliance area, so I have a lot of these calls. That's for me also. For example, we have in the office we have a room that is closed and there are no windows, and we can work there, and we can close the door so that that no one hears. But for me, it's also at my workplace at home. I can close the door, and then also no one hears something. And at home, I'm be 100% secure that no one comes in. You know what I mean? So often, if I have a very, very high secret call, I make it from home. It's better than from my company.
Exactly. And you know what I did? I went about some equipment for COVID and before, about new microphone and all this. Did you ever went to a TV station or to the radio station? They have this on-air shields. I bought one like this, and I took it over my home office door. So when this light is on, no one has to come in. And it's sunny. I mean, this solution cost me maybe, I don't know, 20 euros.
Or you can win something on Ignite. Okay, not in this situation, but I won one of these calling lights on Ignite last year. I extend a little bit the cable, and that's it's red, green, yellow,
and that's it.
And that's it. That's okay.
So, and what you was doing, let's say offline now during the last few months. I mean, like I said, or like you said, you couldn't travel. So I think it was also in the beginning like a big pick, which went up about secure working, I guess this kind of projects, and then how is now?
Currently, it's the most of the customers said no, it's only remote work. So I think also this year and also beginning of next year, it's remote work. So I have only 2 meetings, and also this meeting was the first travel, that we make an offline meeting in person. And often also in the compliance topic, we make offline meetings, but very, very few. So in this time, we think often, or we talk often about it, if it's okay to travel or not. We have to travel or not, so that's okay. So I don't travel a lot in these times too. If it's allowed, but I stay at home, and what I stay at home, I have more screens now. I have a green screen. I have a Rode mic. That's better. That's better than the typical headsets.
Yes, of course.
And I have.
And you're more free to move in the.
And I have three. No, I have now 4 headsets.
Okay.
Because I changed that. I have someone from my company with a cable. I have the earpods. I have the Microsoft Surface headsets, and I'm switching. Cool one, I'm switching between the day. Because working the whole day with earpods, no. Working whole day with a microphone or with a headset with a cable, you can't work. No. Can you work the whole day with a Surface headset with a closed one?
No.
You're
sweating in summer especially.
So I'm switching very often, and on the other side, and I think this is, for me personal, this is harder to block 3 times. Because you can jump from one meeting to another meeting without traveling. In seconds, 30 seconds, you're switching between the meetings.
This is a good point, because normally, if you have a physical meeting, you need at least time to change the meeting rooms, maybe the location or something, and then you can calm down and get ready for the next one. And here
you walk, you drink something, and
And now it's just 2 clicks off and on, you know, and that's it. And I agree.
That's for me the biggest challenge in this moment, to have the discipline to say, okay, now. Or I learned that I make meetings with 15 minutes or 30 minutes free space between.
So drink a coffee.
Drink a coffee like this, and sometimes I said, okay, some days when I have a lot of meetings, I go offline. Go offline for lunchtime, and I make a appointment and a meeting from 12 to 1. I said, okay, from 12 to 1 I'm offline. I may go out, and for example, also in the home office, go out looking for some food, come in, so you have nearly the same rhythm of the day, a little bit. And also I try, and this is also an advantage, so that you can see this change of work as an advantage, that it's allowed to go outside. It's you have more space, free time that you can use better a little bit. So you don't have the time to travel to work. So use these 30 minutes or use these 40 minutes to go outside, to make some sports. Or I also have a talk with a guy that told me, it was a friend for me, I brought a bicycle, and every morning I make around.
And it's good for your health as well.
It's good for your health, you have some sports. And for me, and that's very important, that's also a hint for everyone, if you go outside and you make a little bit sports, my mind and my thoughts are clearer. So I get ideas. I get more ideas than I'm sitting on my chair in the front of my screens, and I go outside, and sometimes I have, and we have customers with very difficult challenges. It's a challenge between architecture, culture, compliance, finance, totally. Finance, working council, director privacy officer, and often the Microsoft tools and every tools around the world are not made for this. So you have to think, okay, how we can combine and use. And for me, it's often, I said, okay, nearby where I live, there's a forest or like this. So go outside. You can make meetings while you can walk, or you can make a phone call. That's okay. You have internet flat rate, and so that's working. And sometimes that's the best choose for me to go outside, and then you have an idea. So often I sit 4 hours in front of the screen, I had no idea. I go outside and make a phone call with a friend, or we are talking with Christian or with Hans or whatever. And then after that, we're talking about different topics, but not about the issue. But after that, I said, okay, you can do it like this, and you have an idea. So, it's cool. Honestly, I want to tell you one thing.
you know what's the best moment for me? In the morning when I go to my home office. I really have a room at home which is an office. I switch on the radio and hear the traffic jam news in the radio, and I think, God thanks, I don't have to be there.
That's right. And I'm also the other advantage is when I work at home, I don't have so much context and risk of COVID.
Yeah. Yes.
That's also so.
Yes.
So I try to have all to fulfill all of the requirements and stay a little bit at home, because I know there are a lot of projects outside. And yes, you have people in your team, they can make the tasks too.
Yeah.
But often I think, okay, sometimes it's important that I'm there. So you know what I mean.
Exactly.
Often it's that you are here, you knows also of your network. You knows, for example, someone you can ask, and your team not. So
just by the way, this is the circle, huh? This is Microsoft Switzerland is now here.
Ah, okay.
Here's somewhere also a data center, if I'm right. I didn't want to interrupt you. We're on the airport. Because it's an MVP taxi, so we're not just driving around, we're really going from A to B. So actually, like you said, you was in the hotel in Zurich, and now I brought you to the airport. So it was also, I will not charge you for that, don't worry about that. I think that's it for today. We're gonna make for sure another call again in the future. Thank you very much for participating here, and I hope it was good for you.
It was very good.
And see you next time again.
See you next time.
People, stay healthy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Stay healthy.